Remember, this report does not constitute advice of any kind. It is simply an author's opinion. Financial markets and digital assets involve high risk. Consult your financial advisor before you invest.
Hello everyone, how are you? This is another video for Blockchain Reset talking about the smart contracts. Remember, we're trying to build a library of concepts and ideas related with blockchain and with the new Finance 3.0 technology that's going to change absolutely all society, economy, business, all. And in this case, the video is about the smart contracts, trying to give you a clear idea what the smart contracts are, what they are not, and also even a chronology to find out where exactly we can find old reference related with the smart contracts. It's not something new, it's not something that just pop up during this new cryptocurrencies fever and so on. It's something we can even find before in the 19s, certain ideas, certain concepts, certain reference to smart contracts per se, right? Let's follow the presentation I prepared for this proposal, and let's go in. So, smart contracts. Ethereum implemented smart contracts on its platform to go one step ahead of Bitcoin as a store of value. Good point. Now, first of all, if we talk about the smart contracts in blockchain environment or blockchain society or culture, right, or community, it's because smart contracts are the main tool of the Ethereum protocol, of the Ethereum blockchain or network, right? Actually, many applications are developed based on the smart contracts functions. So Ethereum is the second biggest blockchain in the world after Bitcoin, just because they implement a kind of additional tool, additional value. It was the capacity to design a smart contract. And what exactly is a smart contract? I say the main value offered by a smart contract is the trust in transactions between two strangers. Today, smart contracts are the core of the DeFi ecosystem. Most of the application businesses projects are developed in Ethereum network, and this is based on the smart contract tool that Ethereum implemented. Now, coming back to the past, this is very interesting thing I found on investopedia.com. Back actually into the 19s, a smart contract are a script that automate the actions specified to a contract between two parties. Smart contracts do not contain legal language, terms, or agreements, only code that execute actions when specified conditions are met. So it's very simple, very clear. It's not legal language, it's not terms, agreements, clauses, it's not a long paperwork. It's just certain rules that you set up in a code that execute automatically when certain conditions are met. Simple like that. And it's done between two parties just to implement safety on that business relation, right? Here's the interesting part. Nick Szabo, an American computer scientist who invented a virtual currency called BitGold in 1998. Actually, there are rumors here online that say that Szabo could be actually the person behind the nickname of Satoshi Nakamoto, right? The actually could be the one who built the Bitcoin. And actually, BitGold, it's very similar name to Bitcoin, right? So, anyways, the thing is, this guy, Nick Szabo, defined the smart contracts as computerized transactions protocols that execute the terms of a contract. Now, Szabo also proposed the execution of a contract for synthetic assets, such as derivatives and bonds. Szabo wrote, these new securities are formed by combined securities, such as bonds, and derivatives, options and futures, in a wide variety of ways. Very complex terms structures for payments can now be built into standardized contracts and trade with low transaction costs due to computerized analysis of these complex terms structures. This definition is super interesting because based on that definition, many of the structured products we can find today in the financial industry are smart contracts. Are basically a combination between different synthetic products that at the same time these synthetic products are just a reference of underlying real assets representing the real world. So any kind of derivative could be a smart contract based on that definition. Now, Smart contracts do not contain the legal language or terms of a of a contract between two parties. It's something different. It's more minimalistic. It's actually the main function one of the functions they're looking for is to simplify the things, right? They don't want to make more complex the relations between two parties. They actually want to simplify that relations in basic rules. They are scripts that contain if-then statements, functions, module imports, and other programming that automate the actions specified in a contract. They want to simplify a legal contract between two parties in certain things. Look, let's go to the point. If A happens, B happens. If, and so on, right? So that's the main function the smart contracts are trying to get, simplify the relations, the business relations. Now, this is another thing that it's become really, really interesting. If that's the definition that this expert gave to smart contracts back in the 19s, then option forwards and futures are smart contracts. Look, one of the simplest uses is ensuring transactions between two parties occur, such as the purchase or delivery of goods. Just simply like that. Ensure transactions between two parties occur. This is what a forward contract is giving to you. It's ensuring the transaction, right? The value of the transaction, the difference on the prices between two parties. In this case, the one who is issued that forward contract, that future contract, even an option, is just an insurance. You want to bring some clarity, some light on an uncertain situation, right? You don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. But if you got a future contract or option contract, you can actually secure certain price for certain asset in the future. So then it's a smart contract because it's a very basic rules. You set up the quantity, the price, and the time, right? 3 varieties. These 3 variables that you can play on are, let's say, the inputs of this smart contract. Now he's giving an example. For example, a manufacturer needing raw materials can set up payments using smart contracts, and the supply can set up shipments. Then, depending on the agreement between the two businesses, the funds could be transferred automatically to the supply upon shipment or delivery. This is, by definition, a future contract. Classic future contract. So it's an old financial assets using since the 18s. Right? So we got here a reference of what was a smart contract before in the financial industry. Now the only difference now is because we're trying to use these smart contracts in a standard business relations, just to provide services between two parties, not a complex financial product that is issued by an investment bank or by an exchange, right? We want to simplify the things and allow two individuals set up this kind of contracts between them using a platform like Ethereum. Pros of smart contracts. The primary benefit of smart contracts is similar to the benefits of blockchain technology. They remove the need for third parties. If we use a smart contract, we don't need to get anyone in between, just giving us that security, right? The smart contract per se is the security. Efficiency. They speed up contract execution. Accuracy. There can be no human errors introduced. We will see later that actually the human error could be the way you program the smart contract. Immutability. The programming cannot be altered, which is a pro, but it could be also a con. Now, regarding the cons, some of the downfalls of smart contracts are permanent. They cannot be changed if there are mistakes. You see, again, that immutability is actually something that could be good or could be bad depending on what you put on the contract. Human factor. They rely on the programmer to ensure the code addresses the terms of the contract. So if the programmer make a mistake, there is a human factor in the smart contract. Actually, the next point, loopholes. There may be loopholes in the coding allowing for contracts to be executed in bad faith. Not just that, also could be vulnerabilities in that loopholes. Some gaps on the code that give some weakness on the agreement, right? So it's not completely safe. It's just a way to simplify, I would say, business relations between two people. And that's all. Thank you for watching. I just give you a short idea about what is a smart contract. I also give you a few reference of historical or chronology of where the smart contracts are coming from, and also why we also think there's nothing purely new. The only thing that is new in these smart contracts is the way that they're gonna be implemented or used. First of all, in blockchain technology as the base, the core for establish new digital business relations between two people, three people, and so on. And also just to certify things like even the NFTs is also a kind of it's a smart contract, also specify what's the intellectual property of certain assets and so on. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you want to contact with Blockchain Reset to suggest topics or to be in touch, you got the email on the screen, blockchain.reset@email.com. See you. Bye bye.